Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Yes, tonight I will wrap up my live playthrough of Hermann Luttmann's Dawn of the Zeds from Victory Point Games. Yes, this is coming up right after this. So come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. Yes, I am the founder and editor-in-chief of The Gaming Gang. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Tuesday, March 31st, 2020. This is episode 462 of the Daily Dope. So if this is the first time you're joining me, keep in mind this is a very, very casual show. Normally we're talking about tabletop gaming news, a little bit of pop culture stuff, but mainly tabletop gaming. But because of the current goings on around the world, I changed the format for the foreseeable future. It will go back to the usual format once things return to normal. But for the time being, we're just kind of hanging out, having some fun, Mondays through Thursdays, playing some games, sharing some favorite games of mine. And we'll probably do some unboxings, look at some new stuff. I will talk about what's on the horizon in just a few moments. And then we will jump into the disastrous conclusion. This is my prediction of the game of Dawn of the Zeds. But anyway, this is a very, very casual show, so it's not rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. If you do like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, if you do subscribe, ring that little bell, because it will not only notify you of when this stream goes live, it'll also tell you when I upload my standalone videos, such as my unboxings and first looks, page throughs, reviews, interviews, convention coverage. Well, the convention scene's not looking too good this year. But, of course, all of my standalone videos, you will be notified as well. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel here at YouTube, please visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Because this is a live stream, that also means chat is available on YouTube. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to chat. So sometimes it's not easy, especially when doing a playthrough, but I do my best to pay attention to chat. So if you want to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, a comment, maybe tonight you're curious about Dawn of the Zeds, by all means, fire away. I will do my best to respond. So, of course, right now we got the Madman is in chat with us tonight. Looking forward to the second half of the game. So the Madman, it looks like, caught a little bit of my first part of Dawn of the Zeds last night, which when we resumed the playthrough, there were a couple of things that I had messed up, and I will explain what they are. So our survivability might be a little bit better than it was at the end of last night's show. Probably not by much, especially the way I've been rolling dice so far in this game. But before we jump into that, I do want to talk about what's on the horizon. So on tomorrow night's show, well, first of all, I should point out on Thursday, tomorrow I'm supposed to be receiving a package from Germany. It is a game from UGG. It is a game I know pretty much nothing about. But if it does arrive, I will actually do an unboxing of that on Thursday's show. So just wanted to float that out there first of all. Tomorrow's show, we are actually going to unbox and take a first look at Santa Monica, which is from my pals over at AEG. Let's try to get rid of some of that glare This is a very light colored box, I should point out. But this looks kind of interesting. You're supposed to be building your own kind of beachfront area of Santa Monica. So, and I have been to Santa Monica quite a few times back when I was delivering RVs around the country. Go to California quite a lot, Santa Monica quite a few times as well. So this is on tomorrow night's show. So we are going to do an unboxing on tomorrow night's show. As I mentioned, Thursday, if that package does arrive tomorrow, we will take a look at that. I got to be honest, off the top of my head, I can't even remember what the game is that UGG is sending me. So we will find out. If for some reason that doesn't show up, which wouldn't shock me because it's coming from Germany, we are going to take a look at Dungeon Craft as well as Hell and High Water. These are both from 19. Let's get rid of the glare, Jeff. Come on, man. No, look, I'm getting glare. There we go. These are both from 1985 games, and they are actually pretty heavy. And they are like game tiles. So not only perfect for role-playing games where you might use miniatures to for your placement of your characters and your monsters, I bet you these would work perfectly just in miniatures games alone, right? Skirmish level stuff too, Frostgrave, stuff like that. Also, I'm not going to do it on a show. I'm actually going to shoot a standalone video. We're going to take a look at the first expansion for Tiny Towns, which was one of my favorite games of 2019. This is also from AEG. So look for this end of the week, maybe Friday night, since I'm not doing any live shows on Fridays any longer. And I got a giveaway copy too. I think I'll wait to give the special promotional copy away. I'll wait till I do my review. So we've got that. So we got a lot of cool stuff going on. So the Madman says they're going to miss tomorrow. 5e Game Night via Fantasy Grounds. Going to be back on Thursday. Hey, thanks for mentioning that, Madman, because I finally did get a chance to talk to my best friend, Elliot Miller. Looks like Call of Cthulhu is on with Fantasy Grounds. We're going to use, actually, Fantasy Grounds and Roll20. But I actually have an overlay and everything. I'm going to record the stream. Well, I'm not going to stream it live, but I am going to record the sessions. All depends on how much fun they are. So, I mean, for me to release them or not. But to give you an idea, this is what the overlay is going to look like. So, I know, not very exciting with nothing there, right? It's kind of blank. But we got a little section for everybody's camera, and we've got a section for the big open section there is going to be for the Fantasy Grounds as well. And Roll20 is what we're going to use for the cams. Either that, or we're going to use Discord, I think. Well, we might use Discord. So that it's still a little up in the air, kind of, you know. But so Madman's like, nice, I like that. So so the Madman says, if I drop out tonight, I'm apparently having internet issues. Hey, I gotta point out that same thing's going on here too. We are having some drops. So, and I understand the networks are strained to the max. So I completely understand. But as far as the Call of Cthulhu, looks like we're going to be doing it. I'm trying to shoot for at least episode 0, right, where you're creating the characters and stuff like that. Hopefully for this weekend. So we shall see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. If you watch the charity stream that we did back in November, which seems like a lifetime ago, we did about a 6-hour session of Call of Cthulhu. That was fun. It was silly. It was got a little oddball, sort of like 1950s B movie vibe to it. But we had a good time, and I think people who watched had a good time too. All right. Anyway, so let's jump on in because I'm going to finish up my playthrough of Dawn of the Zeds, which is from Victory Point Games. It is designed by my good pal Hermann Luttmann. I awarded this my game of the year. Gosh, I want to say back in, I think it was 2012. That was back when this came in a Ziploc bag, and it was all kind of desktop publishing component quality. That was back when very few reviewers would take a look at Victory Point Games titles because of the components, even though the gameplay was excellent for a vast majority of the games. So this is the third edition we're going to be taking a look at. It is available now. I do believe you can still order it from Victory Point Games. It does carry an MSRP of $99.99, but the game is jam-packed with goodness and a lot of different ways for you to play it. Let's move back over to the other overhead camera. Aha! So here we have what's going on in Farmingdale. We got the Zeds all moving in on these tracks. I'm not going to rehash how to play Dawn of the Zeds. I talked a little bit about it last night. We're going to kind of try to jump into the gameplay in just a moment or so. But I do want to point out there were a couple of things that I had messed up last night. And it had been a while since I played this. And as I mentioned, there are loads and loads of different ways to play Dawn of the Zeds. And I kind of showed this off last night. I'll show again real quick. We've got a variety of different rule books, right? So we got the basic game rule book, which is where you start off and you're playing the basic game, which is kind of what I was sharing last night. Then we got a level up rule book, which has advanced rules. Then we got the A to Zeds book, which is like all of the rules together. We've got to set up an epilogue guide. And then we also have a dossier for all the characters and the civilians and the baddies, the anti-heroes, all that stuff. But the game is a blast. It really is. This game is a blast. I have an awesome time with it whenever I play. But as I mentioned, it had been a while since I played. And my nephew Cameron loves this game. So unfortunately, I had mixed some stuff in here from, because we're supposed to be kind of just playing the basic game. And I sort of mixed some stuff in that's from more advanced. And I was kind of like, wow, why are we getting so shellacked here early on? You know, this is a tough game to win. But I was like, wow, this is being a lot tougher. So I completely forgot that we actually do not have refugees in the basic game. We have defiant civilians. Also killed off some civilians who did not need to die. So, oops. Because the heroes and the civilian counters all get saving rolls in the basic game, which I completely forgot. I thought it was only the heroes. And then I had the Farmingdale Fire Department. The auxiliaries were our heroic civilian unit, and they're not supposed to be in this. So, because we're using blue-coded cards. So they have been replaced by, I thought this was hysterical, the Farmingdale Furies. Yes, that's right. It's Farmingdale's very own roller derby team who is lending a hand, fighting off the zombies, the Zeds in these zompocalypse that's going on. So we've got Zeds who are moving in. We've got Zeds who are moving in on all the tracks. This track so far has been pretty good. So Rick Grimes, I mean Sheriff Hunt, has been able to really hold things together down on this section here. That is the suburbs track. This is the highway track. We got a ton of Zeds coming. And Mr. Johnson, the crazy hermit, is basically the only one to hold them off. And over here, we've got the deputy. We got Deputy Schmidt, as well as some heroic civilians. Over here, we got the Furies, as well as some heroic civilians who have taken some hits. And we have Captain Piazza, who is our sniper up here. So once again, remember, if any Zed unit reaches the town center, game over, we lose. That is, right off the bat, that is how we lose the game. If any Zeds reach this town center. So we are not playing with refugees. That's what I was doing last night. I had the civilians moving off like refugees, because that is one of the more advanced aspects of the game. Is you're not only trying to stop the Zeds, you're trying to protect refugees and things like that. Well, okay, so that wasn't the case. So, anyway, we are actually not in as bad a situation as we had been. But it's still bad. We still have a lot of Zeds coming. So, we're going to move on to our next event card. Flipping this over. Zeds disease quickening. So, we already generated new Zeds from the infection, so that dropped back down. Eat. We gotta eat supplies. We're gonna have to use Mr. Johnson here to do some scavenging for us, some foraging. All right, let's roll this on up. An 8. And why am I rolling 2 dice? I only roll 1 die. 5. Crap. We're out of supplies. Oh, wait a second. Hang on. I know. I was going to say, why are we chewing through so many supplies here? I forgot. We roll, and with the supplies, it's only 1 die. So we were on 5. I'm rolling for the infection. So, yeah, it's 1 die. 1. So 1 supply. Okay, so we got Zeds moving all over. We got Zeds moving on the highway. We got Zeds going to be moving on the forest track. They're going to move twice. So that is not going to be good. But we also have the quickening. At the beginning of this phase, make a fate draw. So we're going to pull another fate card. Place a new Zeds unit on the start space of the fated track. During this turn, for each regular civilian unit eliminated or sent to the hospital after its saving roll, place a new Zeds unit on the space where it was killed. Apply the stacking limit if necessary. So we do know that we have a stacking limit of 2. So we can only have 2 Zed counters, and we can only have 2 heroes/civilians in one location. So we're going to draw a fate card. So whenever we draw a fate card, we not only have to do what is like what this card tells us to do, right? We're going to pull a new Zed unit out, and it's going to get placed on whatever track the fate card tells us. But not only are we doing that, and let's just make sure that everything is nice and sharply focused, or as best as I can have this focused in. There we go. Okay. Because for some reason it looked like it might have been just a wee bit out of focus. All right, so we're going to flip this fate card over. So we're on the highway. So on the highway, we got a new Zed unit, and it's a strength of 5. Hold for later. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good for us. Grim Determination at last stand. Play after a Zed's unit attacks and wins. Change the combat result to 1 hit to the attacking Zeds, and the Zeds retreat. Good deal. We are going to hang on to that. So we get to use that whenever we want. We are going to end up with 3 actions this turn. So let's move on the highway, right? So we got 1 on the highway. So these Zeds here are going to attack. These guys are going to move up. I'm not going to move these guys yet because, remember, we've got that kind of stacking limitation here. So unless these guys defeat us and push us back, then they're going to be stuck in this spot here. They'll end up having to retreat. So we've got that. Let's take care of that first as far as the attack, because we're going to have kind of a big battle break out up here. So let's see what we've got. Let's take our player 8 out. So here we've got 5. Now this Zed unit has taken some hits, but they're at an 11. We're 5. So that is 2 to 1. So Zeds times 2, but we are in a named space. So that's going to move it to Zed's advantage. Oh, he might be using that this card right away. A 5. So it's supposed to be Zeds take a hit, we take 3 hits, and we retreat. We are not going to do that. We're going to stack them up. We are going to use this. We are going to use that card here, our fate card that we got. And we're going to apply a hit. So this is the 3rd hit that this unit's going to take here. We're going to flip it over to its reduced side. And they're going to retreat back. So that is that attack there. Might as well get this card out of the way. Next, we've got the forest track. So they're going to move up. Oh, that was hand-to-hand combat, so we got to move the infection up. So same kind of situation going on here. Over here. So we got the Furies and the civilians. Total of 8. Yikes. Against 13. Well, that's advantage, Zeds. We are at the farm, so it's a named place. I see we're rolling the same crappy dice again tonight. So it is equal. So we end up going equal. So we're looking high. Gotta get some high dice here, guys. Come on, gang! Crap. It's like, can't roll anything more than like 6. All right, so even gonna be the Zeds are gonna take a hit. We're gonna take 2 hits. So we're gonna take a hit here. And we have to retreat. So we're getting knocked out of the farm. So in a situation like this, where we've got to retreat, remember we got a stacking limitation. So what we end up having to do is this. We're going to move the Furies back here with Captain Piazza. These guys are going to take a hit. Which one? We're going to give it to the 8. No doubt about that. We're giving that to the 8. Right, so they have to move up. They're moving closer in. Now they're going to move again because we have 2 forest track moves. So once again, they'll move up the infection 1. We're going to move up the infection again because we're entering hand-to-hand combat here. We got a total of 9. So went up a little bit. It's still advantage Zeds. We are not in a named location. So that is not going to allow us to shift the odds, shift the column here in hand-to-hand combat. See what we get. What am I telling you? It's like, God forbid, I roll something better than a 7. 5, we're looking at Zeds take a hit. We're going to take 2 hits. Oh. Captain Piazza's hurt. And we're going to flip over the Farmdale Furies. But they get to take a hit too, so we're going to flip that. All right. Now, that is it for the Zeds. Now we get to do some stuff. Finally. Okay, so we're going to use Deputy Schmidt's initiative ability for his free action. And I think we're going to move into Lefty's Pass. Okay, so we're going to use another action here. So this will be actually one of our 3 actions. I am going to heal up these civilians. So it's going to take a while for them. So they were eliminated. So now I take this off. I move it to here. And they get that. So that is one action. Another action, we're going to have Captain Piazza fire into the zombies here. So she is our sniper. She has a strength of 2 adjacent. Crap. Crap. I need to bring her further back to get better usage out of her, which, you know what? I think I will do that. I will actually use that action to move her. And open fire. That'll be our last action. Gonna cost us an ammo down here. Come on. Come on, crappy dice. The man's like, yeah, I know all too well about bad dice rolling. Yay! An 11. All right. So, she has an attack of 4 at that range. So she's going to do 3 hits to the zombies. So, third hit's going to flip this over, right? So, we still have 2 more hits. So, they're both about the same, so I might as well just do the other 2 hits here. So if we're able to get another hit on that Zed stack, that mob here, we'll be able to take that one out. All right, so that's all of our actions. So one of the things that I mentioned last night, if you're not familiar with the States of Siege games from Victory Point Games, which there are only a few that are still available. This is one of them. You'll notice that there's always more stuff you need to do than you actually have action points to do them. So that never fails. All right, so we don't really have to do any cleanup. I guess we can flip this back over. So, things are not looking good up here. They are not looking good up there at all. Next event card, right beneath our feet. Oh, crap. Okay, so we don't eat anything. So we're going to have the Zeds move on the highway, the suburbs, as well as the mountain track. So at the beginning of this phase, make a fate draw. Oh, got another fate card coming up. To select any civilians or hero units on the fated track, but not in town center or on the start space. It immediately suffers a Zed's hand-to-hand attack on the equal to column. If it was a defiant civilians unit, it is no longer defiant. Your unit suffers losses only and does not retreat. All right, so here we go with the fates. All right, there we go. Dud ammunition and spoiled supplies. Great. Okay, so it's going to be on the forest track. So it's this track here. So here we're going to have the Furies are being attacked by undead right under their feet. So that's going to increase our infection level by 1. I got to roll my dice here for the infection before we even get to this point. So a 3. Okay, we're good. We are good there. All right, so they're being attacked on an equal in hand-to-hand combat. We need high dice again. Well, not bad, not horrible. A 9. So they're going to take a hit. They're going to take a hit, and they don't have to retreat. And there's no new Zed counter that's popping up here. It's just there were some undead. So we got to give them another hit. We need to start getting some of these people healed up in the hospital here. Okay, so here's the weird thing, though. So, like, if a hero gets killed, in the basic game, you do get to roll, like, a saving roll. So there's a 50% chance that they live. And the funny thing is, they actually go back to the town center, and they're fully healed. So it's like, okay. So, oh, we had to lose an ammo, too, huh? All right. All righty. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for that. So, we've got the Zeds moving on the highway. Yikes. There we go. Another hand-to-hand attack. Moving that up. So, it is 5 and 8. So, it's advantage Zeds. We are in the nuclear power plant. Yeah, we're battling it out at Chernobyl or 3 Mile Island. Actually, 3 Mile Island would work because Farmingdale is in New York. And the only reason I know that, I actually I delivered an RV out to Long Island. And I got to actually hang out with my pal, Hermann Luttmann, the designer of this game. And one of the towns I passed by on my way to drop off that RV was Farmingdale. And I was like, all right, I know where Hermann got that name from. So we go from advantage Zeds to even to equal. Come on, baby. Oh, God. Gonna take 4 hits. Oh, man. Okay, we're gonna lose the civilians. And I think I would have needed to do that already. So, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I have to actually roll this for Mr. Johnson. So 1, 2, or 3, he stays in the hand-to-hand combat. So he stays in the hand-to-hand combat. All right. Otherwise, he drops traps and retreats. So we rolled Snake Eyes here. So that is 4 hits. So we're going to lose the civilians here. Let's see. Are they going to the cemetery or are they going to the hospital? Now watch. Now we need a low roll. Of course. To the cemetery they go. Okay. Yeah. Man, that is not looking good. Yeah, I think we're probably going to make it till about 8 o'clock Central Time. If maybe we could hold out that long. I don't know. So that was that's the highway track. So they've pushed us back. So that was 2 hits. He's got to take 2 hits. So now we got to roll to see if Johnson lives. Yay, he does. He makes his save. But this is looking really bad here. In fact, everything looks bad except down here. The suburbs, it's kind of quiet. It's been kind of quiet in the burbs here. Okay, so we've got 2 actions from that card. Damn. Gonna use another action to heal them up. So that's 1. Oh crap. I'm jumping ahead. My mistake. We still had some other tracks. So that was highway track. We also have here we go, the suburb track. So we've got our well-armed, defiant civilians. We're going to bump that up to 5. We're going in hand-to-hand combat again. So we have 4 versus 6. So it's advantage Zeds, but they're well-armed, so we get to actually move the hand-to-hand combat over. So it's actually going to go to advantage humans because we are also defending a town here. We're defending East Track. Oh, I'm sorry. East Irick. I thought it was East Trek. So let's see what happens here. Yeah. 2 and 2. So they're going to take 2 hits. They take 2, so they're now reduced. They're no longer defiant. Well, at least the Zeds are retreating back here. So we haven't been pushed out of town. We might send the sheriff down there to help them out. Rick Grimes. I mean, Sheriff Hunt. And then we have up here, we got the forest track. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have the mountain track. So these guys are attacking Lefty's Pass, where we've got Deputy Schmidt, who is actually tough. So Schmidt and Hunt are kind of difficult to knock off because not only do they get that save, they also get an additional kind of a save because they're tough. But this is going to be advantage Zeds. It is actually 2-1 Zeds. Yikes. All right, so 3 hits. So this is where we're going to roll to see W. Schmidt's tough. So every time he takes a hit, a 1, 2, or 3, he just shakes it off. Shook it off. Did not take it, so he took a hit there. Took 2 hits, so he's been killed. Now let's roll to save. And he's back here in the town center. So he made his save. So he is still alive. So at least the low dice are helping us out as far as the saves. Okay, so they are now pushed up into Lefty's Pass. These Zeds are moving up here as well. So now we've got, that's it. Okay, so we didn't have anything going on up here. Now we're going to get our 2 actions. And I think we're going to use Deputy Schmidt's free action. It's got a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, moving them there. So that is a free action. Sheriff Hunt's leadership doesn't really do much. So we're going to use 1 action. We're going to move Sheriff Hunt 1, 2, 3, 4 is his movement. And then we're going to spend an ammo and have Captain Piazza open fire on the Zeds again up here. So she is a 4. So we got our gunfire attack here. Nothing. Man, that so far during this game, this is about the 4th time that I have rolled a gunfire attack with good firepower and gotten nothing out of it. Gotten 0 hits. So that was a waste of ammo and an action. So, end of that turn. Moving along, we got another event card. Do want to point out, vast majority of these events are bad. So, Mountain Knight Assault. Sounds like it should be like Rocky Mountain. Kind of like playing music, right? All right, so we got to roll our dice for Outbreak down here. So it's 5 or less. Of course, we're going to get 1, which means we are going to have to draw another fate card. So we're Mountain. Oh, it's actually something good for us. So we are getting a new Zed unit coming in the Mountain track here. So this is Community Organizer. Play during the action phase and place a new available regular or heroic civilians unit of your choice in the town center. Sweet. So as I mentioned before, we've got a bunch of, this is just scratching the surface of the game. So these are some of the different heroic civilians. These are some of the different heroes. There are anti-heroes or bad guys in it. Like this is the mad scientist who's experimenting on the Zeds. So it's like, okay. So we got to take blue, which is the Savior Corps, VFW. I think those are the only ones. I think those are the last of the blue. Yeah. So we're going to get a choice of one of those 2. So we'll take a look in a moment because we're going to be using these guys fast. We are going to be bringing them into action. We're not going to be holding on to this for very long. Okay, so we've got that. So we got the Outbreak, eat. All right, so we got 1. The supplies. And then, look at this. We're going to get 1 lousy action. Okay, so the Mountain Knight Assault. For every Zed unit on the mountain track, now we're down back to 0 because we did create a new Outbreak. We're going to place this 1. So what we got? 4. So we're all the way up to 4. And we get to place another Zed counter here. Did I say 8 o'clock Central? Maybe about 7:50. So the madman asks, do any of these heroes come with a tank? There is actually an expansion hero who drives a semi and can like actually smash through Zeds. It's pretty wild. Like I said, this is just the basic game. But as you can see, the basic game's got a lot going on in it. As Pinky has popped downstairs here. I'm not sure if anybody can tell. All right, so we got the mountain assault, right? Everybody's moving on the mountain. Here we go. So we've got 11 versus 2. Oh, these civilians are going to get wiped out. They will get a shift. So it's going to go Zeds 2-1. Or I should say Zeds times 2 is what this says. Oh, yeah. Now we start rolling actually something halfway decent. So Zeds are going to take a hit. These guys are going to take a hit. And they have to retreat. So they're going to retreat there. I'm going to move that infection up because that was another hand-to-hand combat. Let's give the hit to the 6 on top. There we go. All right. And we get one lousy. Oh, we didn't get a terrain shift for that. So hold on. They don't get a hit. Same with us, though. We still take the 2 and retreat. So we're going to get that one action. Well, for one, we do get an action for... Now they're in the Lucky Strike mine. We do get an action for Deputy Schmidt. So we're going to use his free action. We're going to spend that. And use his firepower attack on the adjacent Zeds. Now, when we do a gunfire attack, we don't have to worry about moving this up because we're not right in the heat of hand-to-hand combat, right? We're not right there in the middle. Okay, so let's see what we get. Come on, give us something. Well, it's something. 2 hits. So 2 hits are going to go on to the 6 up top. And we have our one lousy action, which we're actually going to use our free action in the action phase here to take one of the heroic civilians. So we have a choice of VFW Local 12. So it says this unit's first gunfire attack each turn costs no ammo. Still costs an action. So that's actually pretty good. This unit ignores retreats, forcing Zeds to retreat instead. Oh, this is looking pretty good. So the veterans of foreign wars, I think we might be pulling them out. Then we got the Savior Corps. And they are just basically a healing action, which Mr. Johnson can actually do healing too on anybody who's adjacent for 1 supply. Yeah, we're going to take the VFW local. We're going to put them over here. So once again, it just gives us something, another, this the VFW? No. Oh, Pinky, relax. Wow. What? Pinky, stop. Crazy cat. It's like she'll just come down here, and the funny thing is she's just yelling at the water. Like what? I don't get it. It's crazy. Okay, so we've got the VFW. So they have joined the fight there in the center here, and we still had 1 action to go. So let's see, what should we pull off here? I think we need to really do something up here. So, but we should actually probably forage. So Mr. Johnson gets the 2 dice for foraging. We are in the town center. So we're hoping for a 6. Well, 4 and a 5. So we can gain of food. And that is going to be the last action. We will go on to the next event card. A hero arrives. There we go. This is actually good for us. So we got to roll for the outbreak. No, we're okay there. No supplies. We got Zeds moving on the highway track. Got them moving on the suburb track, so they're going after these guys again. And we also have them moving on the forest track, so they're going to be moving up into here against the Furies. That does not look good. We will get 2 actions, but we are also going to get a new hero. So we're going to get a hero arrives, which I believe the only one we still have left is going to be the mayor, who is actually kind of weak. So, all right. So here we go. Whoops, as I bumped them. All right, might as well take these guys out. So we got 6 versus 7. It is advantage humans, amazingly enough. We're going to move them over 1 more because they are defending the town down here. Hey, we got a halfway decent roll. So we got a 9. So it is 3 hits on the Zeds. So 1 will flip it down to a 3. 2 more hits, pop that on there, and they have to retreat. So, and we will bump that up because that was hand-to-hand combat. So down here in the suburbs, the fight is going pretty well. It's the rest of the area not so hot. Okay, so we also had the highway. So we got the highway here, which I just moved them, so that's fine. There's nobody here to fight them off. As you can see, though, one of the cool things is, like, as we get closer in towards the city, we do get better defense to try to fight the Zeds off. And we also have the forest track. So we got up here, so we got 3 versus, what is that, 8? No, 10. Ugh. That's 3-1. I think the Furies are going to get clobbered here. No shift because it is not a named location. Well, could have been worse. So we're going to take 2 hits. So they are going to be having to make a save roll. These are eliminated, thankfully. And that was 2. That was 1 hit. So this is going to get a hit here. So now we have to roll to see if the Furies go to the cemetery or if they are going to survive and go to the hospital. They are going to the cemetery. Well, we appreciated all you did during the roller derby season and during the zombie apocalypse. Thanks, Furies. So that is that area up there. So we're done with the Zed's turn, and we got 2 actions out of this. So we have the VFW, and so they should be pretty cool because they can actually make a gunfire attack without spending ammo. Just cost them the action. So first off, we're going to spend the deputy's free action up here and open fire at the mine. See what we end up getting here. Not much. 1 hit. That's going to cost us the ammo, and it's going to drop them down to their reduced health side. So that was the free action. Should we have Captain Piazza open fire? Yes, we. No, once again, she'll only have a 2. That stinks. Let's throw the VFW at these guys. Let's spend an action into that. So their movement for the VFW is 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to bump this up. Yes, I know. We're going to have another outbreak. But So we got 3 versus 5. So it's advantage Zeds. Or you know what? Let's do this. Let's just move them. I can't. Stacking limit. Crap. All right, let's send them down. Yeah, let's send them down here. And then have them open fire here. So with gunfire attacks, you have to be adjacent. Unless you are certain characters, like Captain Piazza is a sniper, Sheriff Hunt. He can fire at longer range, but he suffers a penalty. So let's see what we get. We got a 3. 1 hit. So we will score that hit on the, well, let's do the 5. So we got the VFW down there. Those are our 2 actions. I swear, when you're playing this game, you're sitting there like, man, come on, I need more actions. Come on, somebody, please. Moving right along. Brains. Okay, so this is usually not good. So we don't do this little Z thing here at the bottom during a solitaire game. So we're going to bump that up 1. All tracks activate with each Z unit advancing 1 space only. However, if a Z unit's activation results in a combat that it wins, it immediately advances again. Repeat as necessary. After activating all Zeds units, this special turn is over. Draw the next event card. So we're not even getting any actions to respond to this. So every Z unit is going to advance 1 space. So we've got here, we got the battle. Here, advantage humans, 2-to-1 humans because of the shift for the defense. Got an 8. Okay, no hits to the humans, and these guys are wiped out. So got rid of that Z unit here. This is probably where it's going to hurt. That's my guess. Here and here. Well, actually, all of up here is going to be bad. All right, so let's do the forest track. So 5 versus 4. This is not a named location. We should have been pulling back. Well, we'll be falling back, all right. So it's advantage Zeds. Ooh, I see a 6. What's the other one? Boo. So it is 2 hits and 2 hits. These guys retreat, though. So our 2 hits are going to take out the civilians. And let's see where they end up. Are they going to the hospital or are they going to the cemetery? Yeah, going to the cemetery. Not good. We are losing our forces here. Okay, so these guys get to move up, right? Because we got the stacking limit, but that means that they can still pile up as a mob. Okay, we've got over here, we have 8 versus 5. That is advantage Zeds. Ugh. Ay. And they take a hit. And we're going to take 3 hits. Yuck. 1, 2, 3. They're going to retreat. Now remember, this brains card, they won, so they're going to advance again. So once again, it is 8 versus 2. So it's definitely advantage Zeds times 3. But we're going to move it to Zeds times 2. And it is going to end up killing the sheriff's deputy. Where's he going? I think we know. Of course, to the cemetery. And so they advance there, and they get to advance again because they won that combat. Man, we could be seeing these guys reaching the town center here because of this. So, but the VFW doesn't retreat, so we'll see what happens here. So this is 8 versus 3. It is a advantage 2-1. Zeds. Damn. Once again, just terrible, terrible rolls. No hits there. These guys take 3 hits. So it is going to be like so. That's 2 and another one. So the Zed units all have to take 6 hits to be eliminated. The hero units are all different. They're all a little bit different. Some are like 2 hits, he's out. Some have a little more life to them. Like the civilians tend to have a little more like hit points, almost, we'll say. All right, so that was the end of that. I had the feeling this is probably going to be our last turn, because remember, we don't get any points here. Mine explosion. Oh, joy. So, we are not rolling for infection. We are not using up any supplies. At the beginning of the Zeds phase, check the mind space. Any units there? We don't have anybody there, except for Zeds. Any units there suffer 1 hit, immediately retreat. No unit can enter this space for the rest of the turn. Place a no entry marker. Don't think that's the no entry, but just in case, we'll just toss that there. If forces retreat into this space, a unit must instead retreat to the next available space. That's fine. Okay. So we've got movement on the mountain track. Well, the Zeds can't move in there, so nothing going on down this way. And we've got the suburbs. We don't have anything on the suburbs. We got the highway. All right, the highway's not going to be good. So first off, we go into this attack here. So 8 versus 2. It is advantage Zeds times 3, but we're going to shift it over 2 spaces, so it is just advantage Zeds. On a 7. Not good. They're going to take a hit. I'm sorry. We take 2 hits, so they're wiped out. They're out. Got to roll. Where are they going? Town center or to the... Yay! Going to the hospital. Flatlining. Deet. Look at the little EKG thing we put on them. But now these guys are 1 space away from hitting the town center, and it's 1:08. So I was pretty good on that prediction, huh? Okay, so the other movement is the highway track. So these guys are going to attack with their 8 against 2 with a VFW. Now we're going to lose the VFW. I'll tell you that right now. Yep. So where they ended up, they're going to the hospital. Give them a little EKG. And these guys move in. All right. So we have 2 big whopping actions to use. Deputy Schmidt's dead, so we don't get that free action anymore. Let's see. Yes, I know. What I should have done is I should have started pulling everybody back and been defending over here. But the thing is, you only have so many actions, right? So if you're spending actions to retreat, doesn't really help you all that much. I tell you what, I will use my Sheriff Hunt leadership, which is a free action, and I am going to release these well-armed civilians and give them a free action. And I believe they have a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3. So at least, I don't know, move them back. Okay, so that was our free action. We get another action here. So let's use Mr. Johnson to attack. He uses heavy weapons. This is kind of funny. So he's going to attack here. So it's going to cost us ammunition. So it is a gunfire of 3. But it's going to move 2 over. So he's actually got a gunfire attack of 5. Rolls a 12. First 12 I've rolled all game. It's going to do 4 hits. So he's going to wipe these guys out. So that's 2 of the hits. So 2 more hits here. You ain't getting in the town center, you damn bastards. Actually, they are. They're getting in real soon. So that was one action there. And other action, I'm going to pull Captain Piazza to the town center. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that with the town center, there is no stacking limit. But as soon as the Zeds enter the town center, they don't have to win combat. They just have to enter the town center and game over. We lose. So as soon as the mountain track moves again, it's an automatic loss. So let's see what's on the event card. And of course, it's going to be double mountain move. Tough Zeds. So that is going to be it. That is going to be it because these Zeds would get into the town center to enter hand-to-hand combat, and we automatically lose because they reached the town center. So we lasted 3 minutes longer than I thought we would there. So the man's like, nom, 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 nom. So there you have it. That is just the basic game of Dawn of the Zeds. And I guarantee you, I probably was messing up some rules somewhere. Sure. But like you can see, I enjoy the game. I get a kick out of even like when I'm playing badly and getting shellacked. One of the cool things about Dawn of the Zeds 2 that I should point out is that you can play 1 to 5 players. So you can actually play 4 players where every player is playing a hero. But they can actually control, they don't just control their hero. They can control like the civilians and other heroes with their turn. So you've got that. You can go to 5 players and actually have one of the players play the Zeds and the bad guys that can pop up. So like I mentioned, there's a mad scientist who's experimenting on the Zeds. That's where we get the super Zeds. They have like weird powers and stuff. There's also like a Typhoid Mary kind of character who's kind of like spreading chaos and the infection. There's an arsonist running loose. There's all these different characters. Now, of course, there are some mini expansions as well that you can get that add some new characters, some new little wrinkles into the game as well. So they come in almost like little booster packs. There's a trio of those. So there you have it. There was Dawn of the Zeds. So like I said, I really enjoy this game. Even when I lose, I still have fun with it. And as you can see, that was just the basic game. So keep in mind, tomorrow I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Santa Monica from AEG. We might actually kind of take a peek at how you play it as well. Even though it's an unboxing, the unboxing would probably be like, I don't know, 15 minutes. So kind of want to do a little bit longer show, kind of hanging around, bumming around, having some laughs. So that is it for tonight's show. As I like to point out, if you like the video, if you like seeing me get my butt whooped by the Zeds, give it a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that little bell because it will not only notify you of when the Daily Dope streams live, Mondays through Thursdays, it'll also tell you when I upload my standalone videos, which I will have some coming up at the end of the week, I've got some new stuff we're going to be taking a look at. Got some reviews as well. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So, everybody enjoy your Tuesday night / Wednesday morning, because I know there's some folks out there across the pond who tend to watch. And I will be back tomorrow. So until then, be smart, stay safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.